Huh? Stan, you ready? Waiting on you. You good? Okay. All right, guys. I got some housekeeping stuff I want to get going before we actually get into our event. But I want to also say that very very grateful for Metro government, meaning that the mayor has been providing some funding for us, and one of the main persons that's responsible for getting this money for us has been Councilperson Tammy Hawkins. Right, Tammy, let's come up here for a second. All right. And Tammy is our Metro government liaison. And I know you guys have been seeing for the last few years that we got a lot of new stuff that's been coming to these programs, okay? Because we wanted to make sure that that difference between the haves and the have-nots didn't exist anymore, at least when those kids hit the football field. That everybody had proper gear, safe gear on, new uniforms, and all of that stuff, okay? So this is the main person that was responsible for that and allowed me to work with her, with Metro government, to get funding for us. And the first year of that funding, we got $50,000. And, of course, $50,000 for all of our groups wasn't a lot of money, but it was a start. The second year, we got $50,000. The third year, which is this year, we've gotten $75,000. And Tammy's promising me that she's going to get a whole lot more for that than the next year. So I'm going to let her say something if she chooses to, and I kind of put her on Front Street. But this is our girl down there in Metro government, guys. I'm telling you, she's got our back.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for being here today, first off. I've been on my program for almost 19 years. So I definitely know exactly what it looks like being truly dedicated and involved with the youth. It's not easy, and it definitely is not for the weak, right? We have to show up as mothers, fathers, uncles, whatever that looks like. You have to jump into that space. And I just want to say, continue to do the work that you all are doing. A lot of you guys have been around a long time, and you guys do this stuff effortlessly. And no, y'all really deserve more money than what the city government allotted. And I really asked for $1 million, but they didn't give us that. So I took it down a little bit. I said, okay, give us 75. But I'm going to continuously, thrive down there. It's not easy. I tell people all the time that politics, I'm learning, is worse than the streets. When people say that, that's the truth. And I am down there truly fighting for a lot of different things that people that don't come west of 9th Street has never even experienced. So how can you tell somebody that definitely is affected by a lot of things that go on what we need, right? I know I've had my ups and downs with a lot of you coaches, but I just gotta say this. Sean Donegan has been around for a long time. Where's Sean at? Where's he at? Is he in there? Did he leave out? Okay. Sean has been a rivalry with the Jets, the Yellow Jackets, for years, right? Sean calls my office. Sean texts me, and I don't care what bad blood we've had in the past. Me and Sean has overlooked any differences, because when you always agree with somebody, then somebody's being fake, right? That's the first thing. But anything Sean calls me for the Yellow Jackets, Sean gets it. Even people from my own program, they may say, well, why are you looking out for the Yellow Jackets? The Yellow Jackets is in my district. So it's not about, I'm just not doing this just because I want the glory or because I haven't been confrontational when I needed to be with, with Sean or anybody else. But I've seen the work that Sean has put in. I've seen the work that a lot of you all has put in. But I've really seen the work that Ed and these guys behind us has put in to keep this league going. So I want to make sure I'm not worried about, of course, the Yellow Jackets, and really, for that matter, no other team. I just want, if there are any presidents in the room, to be good stewards, right? To be good stewards of the funding that you're going to get, okay? Because every year, if I can help it, it's going to grow. There are several kids out there that are just not fortunate enough to be able to pay some of these fees. Let those kids play for free. They should not be hounded to pay fees, and you're getting taxpayers' dollars. Any old equipment that you have, go get new equipment. We need to grow. Also, one of the things I also want to say is, coaches, I know y'all leave one program and you go to another, but make sure that when you leave that program, it may not be a good fit for you, but leave that program with good grace, with good integrity. Go to your president and say, hey, this just is not working out for me. Return their items, right? Equipment is high. As long as I'm there and as long as I'm in this space, I'm going to make sure that this league continues to get the funding, right? But one thing I also know, when you sit too long, you're not as effective. So while I'm in this space, I'm going to get the funding, but also I'm going to be looking to go into a different space in politics, and I may not be able to. So you have to take advantage of the funding now. So I just want to say thank you, to you all for showing up, because the youth is our future. Right? We have to give them life skills. A lot of times life skills that they're not getting from home. A lot of us don't have any kids out there. I don't have no kids. So I don't have an agenda. My agenda is to make every team successful. And whatever I can do to make that come to fruition, that's what I'm here for. Utilize me if your team is struggling with anything. Not just the Yellow Jackets, any team, I'll get you connected with your Metro official to make sure that you get the extra needs outside of the funding that you're going to receive. So thank you.
Thank you, Tammy. Thank you, Tammy. Guys, on that note, too, I'm a football guy, and this is a very informal meeting, all right? And I want you guys to understand that when we're in that boardroom, we're all together. Meaning us presidents, we're all together. We got to protect this league. When we're on that football field, we're trying to tear each other's head off. And that's what it is, okay? And myself, I've done every job in youth football, from commissioner to team dad. I've done everything except for being a team mom and a cheerleading coach, so I get it. All right. Also, as far as housekeeping, before we actually get started, is I need Shelby Storm to see me after this event, because I've got some new helmets and shoulder pads. I have some supplemental stuff I want to make sure they get. Also, your program, we purchased some, with Metro funds, some practice pants for kids that can't afford practice pants. So if your organization hasn't already gotten a few of those pants on your way out, one representative from your group, grab 4 or 5 pair of practice pants out there for your president, and so we can get them out to kids that can't afford practice pants. Also, there are going to be some more following up. I've got another grant that we're going to order some more pants so we can round out. We won't be able to take care of all kids, but the way I look at it, we've got 5 or 6 kids that we're preparing practice pants for each organization, we've helped them. But again, everything that you're seeing new come in over the last 4 years has been provided by the funding from the Metro government that we went after. And to be honest with you, the way that happened was I had approached Tammy about setting us up a meeting with some of the council people, and she did. And we went in there, we went in attack mode. And we said that you all are always complaining about crime on the streets and this, that, and the other. And these guys been out here, you guys been out here in the trenches for over 30 years. You know, put up or shut up. They put up and they put up big. So I want to thank Tammy again for her work in that manner, in that endeavor. All right. Now to get into the actual program. Good afternoon to the Louisville Youth Football League presidents, staff, coaches, and administrators. My name is Ed Goodwin, and a lot of times guys call me Coach Ed. And I am the commissioner of the Louisville Youth Football League. And I want you guys to do me a favor. Nobody call me Todd Bowers, and nobody call me D. Mucker. All right? I'm Ed Goodwin. All right? And anyway, so I welcome you to our 2025 Coaches Certification Clinic. We're grateful to St. Stephen's for allowing us the use of their facilities, the Radcliffe officials and the KFOA officials for their input, and proud to have you guys here to get this information needed to coach in our league. This is the 13th season of the Louisville Youth Football League, and we started this league because we wanted to do things right and do things right and do things better. We wanted to bring people together from all walks of life under one league with rules and fairness for everyone. At our highest point, we had 22 football clusters in our league, all right? And we were the best league in the region. Now, guys, to be honest with you, we're just one of the leagues here in the city of Louisville. And what we're trying to do, this season, my job is to correct that, to return us to being one of the best leagues in the region, and we're organized as that. And my job is to make sure we do everything we can to accomplish that task. Some of you that know me understand that I believe in telling the truth, fairness, and protecting all families' most precious commodity, their children. Got to protect the children. The parents are trusting you guys with them, all right? So we have a very challenging task ahead of us this season, and I need all presidents, coaches, and fans to help. We have to make sure we all carry ourselves like adults all the time. We have to remember that these kids are watching us all the time, so we have to set the correct example for them all the time. I want everyone to understand that there is a new sheriff in town, and that is not me, it's you. You guys are the sheriff in town. You guys police yourself, okay? But I also need everyone to understand that if you get outside of our rules, I intend to hold you accountable to the fullest degree. We don't have a major problem with staff not following the rules, but about 5% of our coaches do get in trouble. Don't let that be you. We all are making sure that you received a copy of the rules and our policies, our disciplinary policy at this meeting. Please read and understand them. You guys are the most important part of what we do, and I'm saying now that I appreciate you and we need you. I have some important dates I need to go through with you guys, okay? July 19th is the deadline for USA football certification and your background checks, okay? And I want to talk about background checks. In youth football, guys, it's not a requirement to do background checks. There's no law that says we have to do it or any of that. But it is due diligence to protect people's kids. Like I said earlier, that our job is to make sure that we protect people's most precious commodity, their children. So we do them. But I understand that in life, people make mistakes, man. Who hasn't? So if you got a little grime on your record or a little dirt on your record, we're going to work with you. Because my goal is to everybody that should be coaching football is coaching football. Everybody that shouldn't coach football should not coach football. And what I mean by that is you were 20 years old and you got caught with a whole lot of dope in the back of your car, man, and you're 30 now and you change your life around, come see me. But if you're a serial killer, I don't want you nowhere close to me. Okay? So, you know, if you got a guy out there that you think that he might need a little push or something to get involved in coaching, but he's changed his life around, we are going to make exceptions for people to allow them to coach in our league. All right, but we are going to do our due diligence in making sure that we have the right people. And on a case-by-case basis, we'll look at what's what, and we'll make a decision on allowing them to coach. But we understand. I'll be honest with you. I want that guy that got in some trouble when he was young, and he changed his life around. He's talking to a young man trying to say, don't do this because I did it, and this is what happened to me, and he's real with it. That's the coach I want. So just keep that in mind, guys. All right? Second date, July 26th. Louisville Youth Football weigh-ins at Petersburg Park, the Pavilion. Now, Petersburg Park is a pretty large park, guys. And they've got one side with the football field and all the tennis courts and the baseball diamonds are on. That is not the side that we're going to be on. We're going to be on the side that's off of Indian Trail, okay? On the side where the water park is. That's where our weigh-ins are going to be at. So just so you'll be clear on where we're going to be at. Our Newburgh Park is what people in Newburgh, like myself, I'm from the Burgh. That's what we call it, Newburgh Park. All right, but it's Petersburg Park if you want to be technical. Yeah, I threw y'all. Yeah. All right, well, Newburgh Park, all right? That's where we're going to be at, okay? All right, let me see. August 2nd is going to be our pigskin preview, okay? And we're going to be at Shawnee Stadium for our preview. And that's basically, guys, where we're going to have organized scrimmages, what it is, where we're showcasing our kids, and you're going to get to play a team, and we're going to get out there and get us warmed up for our season to start. You know, so you guys should be familiar if you've coached before on what previews are about. Okay? August 9th, first regular season game for everybody. That's when they start counting. That's when we get out there, and when I was talking about turning them heads off, that's what we're doing. We're trying to turn them heads off on August 9th. Okay, August 20th, late weigh-ins and last day to add coaches and kids. Okay, so again, going back to what I was saying about if there's anybody out there that thought they couldn't coach in our league or anybody that wants to come on new, that is the last date that we're going to be able to take anybody on teams and on staff. October 11th, playoffs at Shawnee Stadium. And October 18th, championships at Central Stadium. And I want to talk about Central and Shawnee for a minute. Some of you guys that have been with our league quite a while remember the times when we used to play at Trinity, our championships, and we would be at DeSales, we would be at Ballard, we would be at St. X. And, you know, the take I've gotten is that generally those guys let us come out there and showcase our kids when they need some players, when they're not doing real well. And then when they're doing well, they don't want food with us. Well, Shawnee and Central have always food with us. So those are the programs, those are the schools that we are going to protect, and we are going to put our kids in their backyard. So what I've been working on is where this year we've got Shawnee is going to be our playoffs, and this year Central is going to be our championship, and then the following year we'll flip it. And we want to have a perpetual relationship with them where we already know that those are the two places we're going to be because they've been supporting us. We're going to support them. We're going to put our talent in their backyard until they don't want us there anymore. All right? But they have taken care of us. We're going to take care of them. All right, football is a very physical and aggressive sport, guys, which we all have passion for, but we have to remember it's still a game. Our officials do a great job in officiating, our games, but sometimes mistakes are made. We are all human. We can't have a football league without our officials. I need everyone to show respect to our officials, and our officials will show respect back. Remember, our fans react to how our staff handles themselves during games. How many of you guys have ever had a call overturned? Raise your hand. Any of you guys had a call overturned by an official? Was it a technical call or was it a judgment call, brother? Technical? Technical. Yes, sir. A technical call? Yep. A judgment call? We ain't hearing you. Ain't hearing you. Here's the way you do it, too, guys. You call a timeout. Conference with the officials, the white hat, whoever. You got a technical issue, explain what you think it is. Get a conference. If it needs to be corrected, it'll be corrected. You get your timeout back, play football. You call a timeout on judgment call, you lost your timeout. Not going to get reviewed, not going to get questioned, nothing. You wasted the timeout. That's how we're doing it. Okay. Trying to make sure I don't miss nothing. Okay. Guys, please don't ride our officials. You know, my view is this, and I told you guys that, I've coached football. I didn't done it all. You know, uh, once that ball's placed for the next down, it's over. I don't want coaches on the sideline, something happened in the first quarter, they're still screaming about it in the fourth quarter. It's gone. Once that ball's set for the next play, let's play football. Okay, I'm going to speak a little bit about league badges. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. We're going to get them at a little later date. We're not going to do it today. But being an administrator in the Louisville Football League for several years, I've seen us put barcodes on the badges and all kind of different signs and numbers and everything to try to make sure that nobody duplicates our badges and misuses our badges. I'm not doing all of that. You guys are grown men and women out here. I'm not doing all of that. We're going to give you badges, and you're responsible for them. But I want to be candid with you. If you are caught doing something that you're not supposed to be done with your badge, we're going to consider that stealing from our programs, and you will be done in the Louisville Youth Football League. It's that simple. We trust you. Let's keep it that way. Okay. I've added 3 compliance officers to the Louisville Youth Football League. And I'm going to introduce those guys to you also that you see them. There are police guys out there making sure that all our rules are being followed. And basically it's this. I've got Willie Phillips from the old school Broncos. Willie, you want to step up here and say something, brother?
What's up, man? How y'all doing? Cool. I know a lot of y'all. I see a lot of new faces. If I don't know you, get to know me straight up and down. Gonna go by the rules. Gonna have a good time. Everybody gonna make it home safe. My whole thing's about safety. I ain't really worried about the game. Y'all figure the game out. The whole thing with me is about safety. I want to make sure everybody makes it home safe. That's all I got to say.
Thank you, Willie. Appreciate you. All right, I've got Stan Shivers, old school, Oldham County Stallions. Come on, Stan.
How y'all doing? Hey, just like Ed said, new sheriff in town and it's y'all. Our job is just to make sure y'all doing it right. That's it. I want you to see me and then not see me. Just know I'm there and we have no issues. That's going to make this league thrive so we can rise again. All right?
Thank you, Stan. Appreciate you. And I got Brother Ronnie Graves right here from the Old School Patriots.
Good evening, everybody. To the presidents, the site managers that day, we step up. We gave y'all some signs. We want to see those signs posted. One was we looking women's purses, and the other one you may get wand. We're going to come out. We're going to look for your officer. We find him. We're good. To the coaches, we want to make sure you got on your badge. We're not going to be up in your face looking, but we're going to look. Other than that, man, we want to come, eat a few hot dogs, have a good time, man, like y'all doing, and go about our business. Peace and blessings.
Thank you, Brother Graves. Thank you. Okay, guys. So with that being said, these compliance officers, man, these guys are guys that I trust, guys that most of you all know, and they know football. And they're charged with going to sites to make sure everything and everyone is in compliance with our rules. They have the authority to do whatever is needed to gain compliance for the day, including shutting down your site. Now, don't get me wrong. We hope that never happens. What we've told these guys really to do is this. Just be out there. Make sure the rules are being followed. Like Ronnie said, eat a hot dog, drink a soda, and go on to the next site. We're not trying to micromanage you guys, but it is very crucial this season that we get everything right. Everything right. And you guys are the key to that. You guys are. All right? And I had a hard time with trying to come up with this speech in a manner that respecting you guys as men, being curt and honest about what you all are involved with now. And I hope that I got that balance right, because never is my intent to disrespect any of you all. But the responsibility of what this league brings to these kids and what we do in this community is on your shoulders. And that I trust that every president that has selected you to be a coach, that they made the right decision. And so I'm going to go hard to get you everything you need. Everybody up here is going to go hard at getting you everything you need to be successful in helping these kids. Also, I need to add something to this, too. I want you to know about the vision that we have. Now, right now, we're currently working with MSD, Bates, and Councilperson Hawkins on getting some property. We're working on 2.5 acres of land right now. Our proposal is in for it, along with our insurance and other documents. I haven't heard back whether we're going to get it or not, but the main goal is this. We are aggressively trying to get about 10 acres of land that we own so that we don't have to deal with the high schools anymore. Those ADs that call us on a rainy Friday night and say you can't use the field Saturday morning, we got a game scheduled. We want to have 8 fields that belong to us, where we know we're going to play football all day, and some lights, too, if we want to do night games. And all the funding that generates from that goes to our programs, and everybody keeps on eating. So that's the plan, guys. If you guys have been out to E-Town and seen that, we're talking about doing better than that. So that's what we're working on. Okay. Also, you guys are mentors, surrogate fathers, and role models. Please remember this, and thank you for all you do. Now I'd like to introduce our officiating group, Mr. Dale Hodge from the Radcliffe officials, and Mr. Steve Coleman from the KFOA officials.
Thank you. All right. First of all, I want to thank everybody that's here. Obviously you have to love football. If you spend your beautiful July day sitting in this meeting at noon to 2 o'clock. So we appreciate you guys for what it is that you do, because that allows us to do what it is that we do. Last year we had a couple of guys that were utilized in our 3-1+1 format, where they were the spotters, and they got a little bit of a taste of what it was to be an official. And 2 of those guys came out last year as officials, and one of those gentlemen actually became the Rookie of the Year. This year we have 5 people from that same concept. They had done it for their league throughout the course of the season, and now they're looking to become officials. That allows us to have more officials. So again, if you ask the question, why is it that we're doing that, that's the reason that we're doing it. 1, because we don't have enough, and 2, because we need to build up our ranks. Okay. I was asked to clarify a rule as far as an injured player, what happens and what are the options if we have an injured player go out of the game. The answer is they have to be out of the game for one entire timed down. Okay, so if they go out of the game and then there's a false start, that play never actually happens. So they have to stay out until an actual play that is run. Okay, the controversy, if you will, was, can I call a timeout and get them back in? And the answer to that is actually no, that's illegal participation. In basketball, you can do that. In football, you cannot do that. They do have to sit out for one club play. Okay, so any questions on that? Okay. All right, so the head coaches should have picked up a sheet that had the rule changes. There are 4 of them. The main one is that in the past, in 2024, if a player is running the football, fumbles, and the ball goes out of bounds, then we would give them the ball wherever the ball goes out of bounds at. Okay, so if I've got a 1st and 10, I run 8 yards, but I fumble it and it goes out of bounds 14 yards from where we started, we have a first down because we're putting the ball up there. In 2025, we're going back to the spot of the fumble. Okay, so it's part of the rules that happen in college and in pros. This is trickled down now to the high school level. So if we have something that goes out of bounds, we're coming back to the spot. The official, covering official, should have a beanback on the spot where it was fumbled, and we're coming back to that spot, so you don't get the advantage. Now, obviously, if it's recovered in bounds, then it goes to whoever has the ball, and whatever result of the play is from there. If it goes out of bounds in the end zone, then it is a touchback, just like it has always been. But the only thing that affects is between the goal line and the goal line. So if it goes out of bounds, then we're coming back to the original spot. Any questions there? Okay. Yes. Okay, so the question was on a kickoff return, and I would even assume a punt return, if possession is established and the receiving team has the ball and they're running and there is a fumble, the other team can pick that up and run. Yes, as long as a possession has been established. Okay? So if we have a kick in which it goes past the 10 yards on a kickoff and the kicking team gets it, they can't advance it. They get it right there because R never did possess it. Same thing with a punt. If the receiver muffs the ball, never possessed it, muffs it, they did touch it, and the kicking team covers it, they can't advance it, but they do to get the ball right there. It's once we've established that you've got possession of the ball, now it's every man for himself. Okay? Great question. It's a change of possession, right, because we establish possession. If we never establish possession, and if you have the ability to get the ball, it is yours, but it is yours right there. You can't just go take off with it, okay? All right. Second rule change is electronic equipment approved to be utilized in the team box. And so what that means is you have to be in the team box. So you can't be 3 yards out onto the field. You can't be at the sideline. You need to be in the team box. You can use an electronic sign of any sort, but it cannot have any audible to it. So it can't use a megaphone and yell at the plays, okay? But they will allow for you to have an electronic sign provided that you're inside the team box. Any questions there? Yes.
Not in the Louisville youth football.
Okay, well, nor in high school. I was going to get to that. Yeah, nor at the high school level. No, you cannot have a headset in a player's helmet. No, that would be illegal. Okay. Then, okay. Any other questions there? Okay, again. Coaches can, absolutely. No, that's perfectly fine. Talking to the box or somebody sitting in the top row, that's perfectly fine. What we're referring to is the players cannot have anything, and you can use an electronic sign out in the team box, but you can't walk onto the field and then hold up a sign. You can't be at the sideline. You have to be in your box. Okay, so nothing has changed there. Okay. The next rule change, or not even rule change, just more of an emphasis, is that a player cannot have any type of video or audio equipment on themselves. So you can't have a GoPro and you're trying to make your highlight tape or anything of that nature. You can't have any of that stuff. Okay? We haven't had issues with that before, but, everybody wants to be famous, and so this is not part of how you get famous. Just put the ball in the paint and you'll be famous enough. All right. And then the last thing, there was a clarification made, whereas if we have all of the penalties that are behind the line that are on the offense are administered from the previous line of scrimmage. So 2 years ago, if you drop back to pass and your offensive lineman held 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage, we went 10 yards from 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Now we just come back to the previous spot. There was a rule that had something to do with illegal participation, which is a spot foul, and that was not included in all of those, so simply they added all of those. So anything that happens offensively behind the line of scrimmage is going to be administered from the line of scrimmage, and we're going to go 5, 10, or 15, whatever needs to be adjudicated. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't see a hand. No. Was there a question? Do understand. His question was, if a team has headsets, can the other team have headsets?
Guys, I want to be clear on this one. As far as the Louisville Youth Football League is concerned, we're doing none of that electronic equipment stuff. None of it. All right, we're doing none of it.
I see what you're saying. Okay. So understand what we, as the officials, are concerned with is what's going on inside the lines. Anything that happens outside the lines, that's up to your league. There was another question? Yeah, go. The question is headset.
Boy, I thought I was clear a minute ago. All right. Again, guys, I'm not going to police that. I don't want it to we would get to a game and the guy's got headsets over and he doesn't over here. Then he's calling me complaining. You held the game up 20 minutes and we're on schedule. We're not doing that. We're not doing any of that. No electronic, nothing. Come on now.
There's your answer. Okay. And to clarify in our original question about the fumble recovery, if you have an X on your helmet, then it stops there. Okay? And again, that's in you all's special rules. Only thing I'm dealing with right now is just, what is it? 18A. 18A in your rules. Everybody should have a copy of that. 18A. Okay. Yes. Yes.
Says in 18A they cannot run the ball and fumble. The ball, if the X player recovers the ball is dead right there. It'll be your team's possession, but you cannot return the ball according to 18A.
Okay, so their question is on defense.
Can he return? Well, he says
Okay.
they can.
All right, and this is why we're all here. Okay, so what we're talking about right now is a regular scrimmage play, right? A regular scrimmage play. If an offensive X recovers the ball, he cannot advance. Okay. If a defensive X recovers the ball or gets an interception, then he can. Okay, so now for clarity, and we probably need to add this, from a kicking standpoint, if the kicking team kicks off the ball and it's possessed and it's being run back and we have a fumble, are we also saying that the X player can advance that?
Exactly the rule that you had explained before. It's dead right there with the recovery.
And that's because it is a change of possession on a kick, a scrimmage kick. So it's a punt or a kickoff. Okay? Does everybody catch that? Okay, so on a regular scrimmage play, X can recover and return. Offensive X, we're dead. Okay? But on a scrimmage kick or free kick, if there is a fumble, and X picks it up for the offense, we're still dead. But for the defense, they're saying live ball.
From a scrimmage play. Yeah.
No, we're talking about a kick and play now.
No, not kicking. No, kicking
Okay.
is exactly the way you explained the rule.
Okay. I tell you what, we're going to put a pin in that one. We're going to make sure everybody's on the same page, and we'll clarify that for sure. Okay? All right. Anything else? Anyone I'm missing? I can't see. Yes, sir. Yes.
I got that.
Yeah, he's going to talk about that section. Okay? All right. That's it.
Thank you, Steve.
Hey, how you doing? And I want to first thank Ed, right? Because if it wasn't for Ed, the Radcliffe officials probably would not be coming down here. You know, we've been down here since 1990. Sean is probably the oldest guy that I probably know that's still down here. But, you know, with Ed and you know, him working with the youth is the reason why we still come down here to this day. So, you know, it's all about the kids, you know. So I just wanted to first say that. So I put together this packet right here, and I'm going to make sure Ed get one. If I can't get one for each coach, each president would definitely have one. Okay? My copier went down at the job last night, so I had to stop where I was at. But I will make sure Ed get one. And what this does, it emphasizes some of the issues, some of the questions that we had issues with last year in regards to the rules. Okay, because some of the problems that the officials have is not that coach is unruly, it's just that the coach don't understand what the rules are. So this will eliminate some of that stuff. And we as an official, we understand that you're in the game, you're emotional, we understand that, and we will allow some leeway for that. But like Ed said, once the call is made, we have to continue the game. We don't want to call a game, but we will. If the coaches just don't want to, keep control of the game and keep the game going. So some of the emphasis that we going over, or I want to go over, is equipment, since that's the question that came up. And I was told to ask, if you have a question, please stand up and value your questions. But when it comes to equipment, and we'll start with the face shield. The face shield cannot have any tint whatsoever, right? Period. We understand some leagues let you play with it. I can't control that. But I'm just telling you what the rules are. So when you do hear it, if you got away with it last week, just count your blessing and say, okay, I got it, I'm taking it off. If they let you do it the next week, that's fine. I can't control what each official does or each league. So the shield cannot have any tint. There is no such thing as a clear tint, which is what I heard last year. The fact that you use the word tint tells it all. Yes, sir. Yes.
When you get a question, stand up and all your questions. Please.
So this has
Polarized.
a tint to it. So no, you cannot wear anything that has a tint. And the rules. So again, I don't make up anything, right? Everything I say comes from the rule book, and I can guarantee that. So the rule states with no tint, no type of tint. So if it has a tint, and we can tell whether we're looking at it or looking at it from the side, if it shows a tint, we understand that it has a tint. The fact that we can see your eyes, or the fact you understand why they're doing it, we don't care. The rule says you cannot have a shield with tint. Any questions to that? It's a safety issue. Yes, sir.
So not really a question, but more of a comment. Because we've been going through this and went through this a lot last season. So you have different manufacturers that make these fires. And on the box, it will say clear. But when you look at the visor, some of the officials like, well, I see a shade. I'm like, look, the box itself says that it is clear. Now, we have noticed that some of these manufacturers, even though it says clear, they are like polarized, which does add that layer. So can we possibly get that added into the rules when we're saying clear? Because if I'm taking it literally, I'm going to pick up a brand and it's going to say clear, and I'm going to put it, on the face mask. It is clear. Like, can we get a better clarification in the rules for like non-polarized or something to that effect? So that way
So let me clarify this. The National Federation High School developed these rules. This is not a rule that came up by us. These are National Federation High School rules, right? It's not like we can just call them and say, hey, add this to the rule, right? That's not how this works. Now, I'm sure there's a process. I have no idea what that process is, but these are the rules that the high school follows, that we abide by. So, and I get to your point. But when they make those shields, they making those shields for people who buy these shields, college, pros, and on so and on so. High school cannot wear tinted shields. Now, when NFL change, college change, sometimes high school follow suit. Right now, at the high school level, no tinted shields. So, look at the shields. You can tell if it has a tint on it. If it has a tint, the fact that the box say clear is not going to get you out of jail free card, right? Just take it off. They do sell tint shields without any tint. Just make sure you buy them. I know they look good. There ain't no harm in it, but the rules say you can't have them, right? And I get the safety reason behind it, and that's why we enforce it. Okay? Any questions? Now, with equipment, shoulder pads, the back pads, all of that stuff has to be covered up, right? Which is also a National Federation High School rule, right? If your shirt has to go at least down to your pants level. If it's longer than that, your shirt has to be tucked in. But the pads got to be covered. Your knees have to be covered. I know you look at college, I know you look at pros, and they do it all the time. But those guys at the pro level get paid $1 million. Nobody cares if their knees get messed up because they got $1 million doctors to make it better, right? But at the high school level, they have to be covered. If they ain't covered, we are required to send them out the game for a play, and then they can come back in. So if it's fixed. So we saying this now, buy the pants that fits the kid. Because we hear it all the time where the pants don't fit. Then why you buy it? Right? So buy the pants, buy the equipment that fits the kid. There's no reason to buy something. And I get why we do it, but we have to clean it up. And so just make sure that every piece of equipment, it has to be covered up. Any questions to that? The other issues that's in this manual is the formation that I want to emphasize is, and I know for y'all who had me last year, I dig you on a couple of times. I try to tell the coach first before I throw the flag. So you either got to be on the line of scrimmage, and you see it in the NFL slowly being called. You either got to be on the line of scrimmage or you got to be off. You can't be in this what they used to call no man's land, where you're not really on, but you're not really off, right? It has to be, you got to be on the line or you have to be off the line. There is no in between. So for your linesmen, if they look down the line, there should be a space between the person that you consider to be your back and the quarterback if he's under the center. If he's in the shotgun, then it has to be a space between the back and your linesman. Any questions to that? Yes, sir. I didn't quite get that. So, and we try to tell the coach how to do this. So when the center goes down and touch that ball, if the player's hand, when they go down, is on the center's foot, everybody's head would be right where it's supposed to be. Right? So like if I'm the center, I should back everybody up a step behind me, because when they go down, they will be where they're supposed to be. But what's happening is they lined up with the center. And as soon as they do that, they offside. As soon as the center touch the ball, we're going to call encroachment. Okay? So there's a 1 yard where that ball sits, buffer zone, the neutral zone. The only one that their head can penetrate the point of the ball is the center. Everybody else has to be back. Defense and offense. Any questions? Yes, sir.
Stand up, brother. Stand up.
you can put the whole team on the line. But there only going to be 2 receivers that go out. But you can't have more than 4 people in the backfield. All right? And when you go in motion, not that we enforce this, but we did talk about this. You supposed to, when you go in motion, when your player goes in motion, by rule, they are supposed to be 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And the reason why that rule came into effect is to get rid of the crackback that was going on back in Sean when we used to come out here in the early days where you do the crackback. Right? So they got rid of that by saying if you go in motion now, you have to be 5 yards in the backfield. Now, do we enforce that to the letter of the law? Probably not. But if you've seen it called, don't argue, understand where we're coming from with that. That's why they have to be back. Okay, so I'm trying to give you everything in this packet right here. So when game time comes, we won't have anything. I won't have to call Ed and say we got to shut down this site or call the law enforcement because coach don't want to act up. Right. By rule, it's supposed to be 5 yards off the line of scrimmage. So when you send that guy in motion, he needs to be that. Now, if he's 3 or 4, if there's no crackback or anything illegal going on, chances are we just going to let that play roll. We are looking at what is expiring during the play. As long as there's no intent of anything illegal, that right there we would say, okay, that's fine. I'm just letting you know so you know what the rules are. Same thing for coaches in the coaches box. And this is the big thing right here. Coaches can't be on the field. Okay? Unless it's for the little kids where there's one coach on the field. Other than that, you have to be off the field. Right? If the line is right here, that player is not going to hear you more if you're right here. Right? So just stay behind the line. There's a coach box. For COVID, it used to be 10 to 10. Right? Now, it's an optional, and I was going to talk to Ed to see what his league wants to do, because you can adopt either one. The rule is 25-25. He can adopt, extended it, he just had to do it for both sides. Say again? No. If you're going by high school rule, which is what I go by, the high school adopt whatever rule they want to adopt. They have the option per the National Federation of High School to say we either going to stay 25-25 or we're going to go 10 to 10. So just like it's the high school, fifth region or whatever region you in, they adopt that. Ed is going to decide whether you're going to go by the 25-25 or we're going to extend that. Last year we did it but in the rule book, it's an option for the league. The problem with 10 to 10, and I will let you know right now, if you're on fifth region, if you MKOA official, if you can't act right on 10 to 10, we're going to put you back in the box. Everybody on your sideline. So whoever is on your sideline, the coach is responsible for any conduct on the sideline. Head coach. So understand that. Yes, sir.
And again, guys, talking about responsibility of the head coach. You know, you guys are also responsible for that crowd sitting behind you. Because if you got a coach out there acting up, that energy gets in this crowd, that can shut your game down. All right? And that engaging the officials, actually it's supposed to just be the head coach engaging the officials. you know it's football. It's energy in it, man. And coaches going back and forth. It's football. We're coaching. We're in it. You talk to the officials. But you get out of order, you can get you thrown out of the game as a coach and your head coach. All right, so be clear on that. Be adults.
10 to 10. Yes, sir. Everybody can go 10 to 10, can't they? Everybody can go 10 to 10. Right? If he right, the coach can say whatever they want to say. But if the league comes out and say we want to go 10 for 10, that's the whole team. Now the coach can say, "Hey, players, stay at the 25," and we're just going to have the coaches go down further.
Yeah, so what we don't want is the officials running down the sideline with play, and we got 5 kids in this play. Okay?
Now, play till the whistle is blown. Now, all of us who is my age, we come from a time when we did that. We hit until the whistle was blown. That is long gone. If they are not in the play, you cannot touch them. You know, and I still hear that. I heard it last year. You cannot hit somebody who is not in the play. Okay? Targeting, spearing, leading with the helmet, all of that stuff is no longer valid. Even if you are the running back, you cannot lead with the helmet. If you are leading with the helmet with the intent to make that contact, that's spearing. You cannot do that. All that is safety stuff. Hitting a defensive player, you can't do that no more. Blind side, right? If you're going to hit somebody from the side that they can't see you coming, you have to use your open hand. There is no more ooh-ha, that great hit that you want to put on the highlight. They're getting rid of all of that. So if you hit them from the side, use your open hand. Right? If they see you coming, that's totally different. Right? It just can't be anything that we deem unnecessary. If they're trying to catch a pass and it's obvious that the pass is past them, you can't take a hit on them. You got to let up. Right? So, any questions in that? Yes, sir.
officials are not rookies out here, okay? And yeah, they are going to be training new guys to help us because we've got to replenish their staff as well. And they're going to have a new guy there every once in a while. But as far as their overall game, they're going to have somebody that's responsible that knows what's going on. And it's all about safety. That's why we have officials to enforce our rules and keep our kids safe. But we had a coach one time that pulled his entire team off the field and left camp. And in my mind, I was thinking all the little Johnnies that had the grandmother come in from Lexington to go to that game, and they played one quarter, and I was livid about that. You all as coaches don't make that call. If you think that the game is unsafe, you call your president, and your president's calling me. All right? Then we'll decide whether that game needs to continue or not. But I don't want coaches pulling teams off the field. If you need to call timeout to get a hold of your president, that's an executive decision. But the officials can shut a game down at any time. The compliance officers can shut a game down at any time. All right?
Yes.
I have no issue with that. Well, no, but I'll say this. I trust these guys to provide the product that we've asked them to provide, and I don't believe that they have any skin in the game one way or the other. Will they miss calls? Hell yeah, we're human. We're human. You know, are they going to have new guys out there? We got new coaches out here. We got new presidents in here. I'll guarantee you they're going to do their best. That's what I'll give you on that.
Can I spin off that one more time when you see it? Yes, sir. I think you meant, because there's been plenty of times where the referee on our side wouldn't call it because it's on that referee's side. So he may see a holding, and he'll be like, I can't call it, he got called. And it's like,
Well,
I was going to say,
let me ask you a question. I think you're ready to do it too.
yeah,
So let's say, for example, we flip that, and it's against you. Call over here, and you're throwing the flag from way over there. We're gonna be like, oh, he's way over there. Exactly. Okay.
And you saying it right now, and the game not even started yet.
Hold on. As officials, we are taught to fish in our pond. Okay? If I'm on the wings on this side, I got from the center out. Okay? If I'm on that side, I got the center to my sideline. If I'm in the back, I got what's going on in the backfield. If something happens, and again, you have to understand, sometimes I can't see it. And if I can't see it, I can't call it. Plain and simple. And it doesn't matter whether you see it from the other side. That's not your call. Because again, now you're going to be mad because I've thrown a flag on something that happened over there, and it went against you.
excuse me.
It does matter.
Steve,
Yeah.
he's asked us to get closer to the mic so we can capture it for the video.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. All right. No, again, like I said, what it is that we're trying to do is trying to make sure we have to fish in our own pond. Okay. Because if I'm looking way over there, I'm not paying attention to what's going on over here. And just like what he's talking about, now, if I'm looking over there and I'm on this side, I don't see the blind side block that I needed to call because this is my area. Okay? Now, the difference is, and you have to understand, as we go from the highest levels, in the NFL, how many officials do they have? Huh? Answer the question. How many officials do they have? How many players do they have? 22, okay? In college, how many do they have? It's 8 and an eye in the sky. How many players do they have? Okay? Our situation now is we've got 3. And how many players do we have to look at? Huh? The same 22. So I'm telling you right now, on July the 12th, game plan for 2 plays. One that the officials missed, or one they called that they shouldn't have called. There's going to be 2 of them. Now, we're going to have, 60, 70 plays in a game? Plan for 2 of those. And then move on to the next play. Okay?
Now, I do want to emphasize something because that has always been a pet peeve of mine, right? nowhere in the rule does it actually state that I can't make a call over there. It doesn't state that. The rules only states in the official manual what's my area that I need to watch during the play. Right? Now, that's the rule. If there's nothing going on in my play, and if I see something egregious on the other side of that field that is crossing the line of safety, I am throwing the flag for that. Right? If it's just a holding, you know, it's hard for me to tell unless that guy got that arm like this and he trying to pull away. Okay, that's something different. But if it's something that I cannot define, no, you stay in your area and you watch your plays, right? So I get what you're trying to say, but 4 officials cannot watch that whole field, right? It's not going to happen unless D want to put 5 more officials on the field. Okay, can't pay for it. So that answers that question, right? So yes, we can make a call, but we normally stay in our area to make sure, because what you're going to be more concerned with is the play around that ball. Because we miss anything around that ball, now I got to call D because y'all trying to jump on us. So we're going to at least get that down right. And the other official is going to get their area. So yes, I get that point. It's not our area, but if something is going on that should not be going on, yes, officials can make that call, and we do make that call. But most of the time, if we are telling you, I seen them do this and I didn't call it, that's wrong for us to even say. Right? We are just hurting ourselves. Yes, sir. Say again? Who? Ed. Yeah, I'm gonna call Ed.
I know where you going with that.
No.
I gotta give him a pass.
So, any questions? So, look, again, we out there doing the best we can, and we're just trying to give the kids a fair game. And if we do have a new official, and we try to put one new official with the other 3 veterans, then we may overturn a call if it's, to a point where it's costly. If that new official, because if he don't understand, then we got to make the right call. Because what's important is the right call. It's not important who the call goes against or for. It's us making the right call. Right? My kids is in college playing ball. I don't have nothing in state down here in Louisville. Right? So I'm just down here making sure kids get a fair game and that they want to come back next year. Right? That's it. Anything, Tommy? So now, I was told to ask about the Mighty Mites. So everybody has to understand there's no lining up over the center, and you got to be 3 yards back. Everybody understand that part? So we try to put an official right there, to in between over the center to make sure everybody's standing back and then 3 yards back. That's just Mighty Mites. That's just the Mighty Mites. Oh, and you cannot run. So the offense cannot run a play behind the center. Okay, you have to run outside the A gap? You have to run outside of the A gap. So that's just a disadvantage. Any questions? Yes. In the shotgun, yes. So if they're in the shotgun, then yes, they can.
then they can run up the gap. Right. But the linesman, they have to make contact first.
Guys, the reason we put that rule in is that we were having it where everybody was going up at the center. Okay? You know, you put two linebackers right there and the nose open, the play never could go. So it was unfair because you never got the play off. So we wanted to allow the play to develop. And so we said we would protect the center. So that was why we did it.
Any other questions?
No, your whole team can line up on the line. Then the question is, they only want to be two receivers because if everybody's on the line, the only people that can go out is your two ends. Right, because everybody else is covered. So yeah, the only requirement in the rule book is there can only be four in the backfield, including the quarterback.
Yes, you can have 10 on the line.
Okay, including the quarterback.
You good, bro?
All right.
All right, thank you.
One other thing that just to finish up with, I know when we talked about the safety and the things that would go on that would cause you to get a penalty, you have to remember this is 2025 football. It's not what we're used to. You know, Ronnie Lott and Ralph Dawkins and Ed Reed couldn't play in 2025. That's why they're not playing, but not because they owe, but they could not play like this in 2025. And that's what we got to remember. We got to go by these rules based on how we play football in 2025. So we just got to make the adjustment. That's it. Okay. All right.
Thank you, Dale, Steve. Appreciate you guys. Willie, you want another bite of the apple up here?
Hey, I got a question for y'all. Just who's first-year coaches? All right, number one, we appreciate y'all, all first-year coaches. So, old ones, y'all should be clapping up for the young ones. So we appreciate all first-year coaches. Now, on top of me also saying that if you have a coach that's not here, he's hurting you. He's hurting your program. Any president that's still left in here, he's hurting your program because we have to do this again, right? When we should have all caught it today, and we're in this big room with a small amount of coaches. I've been in a league with 8 teams. I've been in a league with 22 teams. This is the lowest number of coaches. We also here to help the kids, but also help coaches as well. So if you know a coach who should be here, who's probably at home just playing the game, he's hurting your team, and that's just being real. Other than that, like I said earlier, if you don't know me, get to know me. If you like to know me, I'll be in the back. I probably got a phone number that you'll need of somebody. Believe me, I do. Other than that, y'all be cool.
Thank you, Willie. Thank you. And guys, I'm gonna close with a couple of things. Where's Ty Anderson at? Is there any way we can get Ty back in there real quick, Donna? Guys, you know, we just regular guys up here, man. You can talk to us. All right, we're approachable. I answer my phone all the time, guys. I don't duck no phone calls. Me personally, I can only speak for me. I'm real. Okay. And you know, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Might not like everything I'm saying, but you know you're gonna get it direct, and I'm fair. All right. But I wanted to thank Ty Anderson for his working, allowing us to and St. Stephen's for allowing us to use his facilities today, and we appreciate that. Also, that the count I got on coaches here, we're at about 80. That means we're probably about 30 coaches short of what I expected. I do have something to capture that, but it's something about when you're here in person that you get that you don't get when you're watching it on video or something like that. So I want to stress again that I appreciate every one of you guys for coming out here, taking time out of your day to come out here and be a part of this. Hopefully that you learned something or you got some information that you can use. But I do want to say make sure that you read those rules, understand those rules, and don't get in that disciplinary area with me, man. Please don't. I want this season to go. We don't have anything that I have to address in that area, you know, because all we got to do is follow our rules, man, and take care of these kids and go have some fun winning football games. So unless somebody's got another question they want to ask the compliance officers or the officiating group or myself, we're going to shut this thing down. Does anybody want to ask anything else? All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. All right. Have fun out there, dog. Have fun out there.
For a packet, so you can
Okay.
give this to whoever.
Okay.
Then, like I said,
Ronnie.
I'll make sure you get some more.
Where Willie go? You good? Sure. Hope it ain't nothing hard for me to figure out. Okay, TJ.
What about it?
Well, my cousins did. I was busted during it, but my brother right here was in TJ. Okay. Yeah.
Kelvin Reed.
Okay.
Boy, you know
What's
I
up,
am.
Dylan? Oh, hell yeah, I know now.